All right, so with that, it's a good segue to certified financial planner Doug Flynn, who joins us on the program today. A little known fact about Doug, like Geraldo, he drives a hybrid Bentley from his home on Long Island. So just Doug and Geraldo, the only two that I know with a hybrid Bentley. So, how much? By the way, the reason they wrote this story, which is creative, obvious. Maybe it's not obvious, but I think the reason they wrote it is because Menendez, the senator who's facing these charges, supposedly had almost 500 grand at home, right? So what's a sensible amount of money these days to keep at home? A lot of us don't have a lot of cash anywhere we go, whether it's at home or even going out anymore, you know?
That's true. I think, there's two parts of cash, right? There's the cash that the old adage of having 3 to 6 months expenses in the bank or in savings for an emergency. But what we're really talking about here is what you should keep on hand on your premises in your house. And I think, as anyone who lived through Hurricane Sandy did, like we did, where you were out of power for 13 days, I think 2 weeks is a pretty reasonable amount of time to have cash on hand. Obviously, you don't want to have it on your person and milled about, but maybe in a safe or something where you can get to. Because at the end of the day, if you're out of power for that period of time and ATMs don't work and you need some things, whether it's food or something fixed, cash will really be king in that situation, and you need to be able to get to it. So I think that's a pretty reasonable thing to think about.
Yeah, 480,000 may be a bit much wrapped up in your jacket or whatever the senator was doing.
A hybrid Bentley with that.
Yeah, exactly right. You go to the dealership and get Geraldo's car. All right, let's talk about this artificial intelligence story that we just mentioned as well. It came out of the writer's strike, and as you know, that was a big thing in the writer's strike is, AI and how they're going to combat it. And they did put some new regulations in place. I don't know if it's a blueprint for other industries, but if you think about it, there's not an industry out there, both of ours included, that's not going to be or already been impacted by AI. So a lot of these new agreements, whether it's with unions or just workers and employers, they're going to have to think about this. How do you look at AI? Something you're afraid of, something you invest in, something you're excited about?
It's interesting. There's a couple of fronts to look at. I like some of the things about disclosure. If you're using AI, it should be disclosed. I think that those are good things. There are applications across industry, almost like when the internet became of age and people were worried about their jobs. Were they going to take away my job because of the internet? In a way, people at the lower end that haven't evolved and haven't kept their skills up are at risk because you need to keep yourself employable, and they did lose some of those jobs. I think this is a further part of that is as AI comes in from a worker standpoint, you need to do that. But on the other front, I would think about like if you and I were at a campsite and we're being chased by a bear. I don't have to be faster than the bear. I just need to be faster than you. And that's kind of the way you need to think about that. From an investment perspective, lots of opportunities out there for companies that are really getting into the AI space. And so from that end, it's very exciting. So how you do this as a worker, you be careful, you keep yourself and your skills up. As an investor, you look at that as an opportunity to really take advantage of.
When you started the story with when you and I were at a campsite, I started to get really scared, and then it had a much better ending than I expected. So it was fine. It actually made your point really well. So Doug Flynn will be contributing to this show on a regular basis, we hope, unless we get AI to replace him. But thank you very much for coming on today, Doug. It's good to see you.